January 3rd, Courage to Change. Okay? I am writing my life story with every single today. Am I moving in a positive direction? If not, perhaps I need to make some changes. I can do nothing to change the past except stop repeating it in the present. Going to Al-Anon meetings and practicing the principles of the program are some of the ways in which I'm already breaking out of unhealthy and unsatisfying patterns of the past. I believe that my life is built upon layers of little everyday accomplishments. When I think this way, setting goals and taking small risks becomes nothing more than a daily striving to make my life better. Taking some tiny action each day can be much more effective than weeks and months of inactivity, followed by a frenzied attempt to make radical changes overnight. It certainly leaves me more serene. When I face a new challenge, I try to make my beginning wherever it may be and start from there. Today's reminder: no one can make me change. No one can stop me from changing. No one really knows how I must change, not even me. Not until I start. I remember that it only takes a slight shift in direction to begin to change my life. I like this reading. I really like that. I like this little part. You heard me laugh. Taking some tiny action each day can be much more effective than weeks and months of inactivity followed by a frenzied attempt to make radical changes overnight. That reminds me of New Year's Eve. You know, I got the whole year to change, and then I'm going to change. Woo, I'm going to change all at once. It actually reminds me of this story that Dean Grazio tells. He's an author and a speaker, and he's a great guy, and I'm sure you've heard of him. He's kind of like Tony Robbins. He's a motivational speaker. And Dean Grazio talks about a farmer who, actually a rancher. When you have a ranch, what you do is my first husband, my only husband, my ex-husband, when I was young, I got married once, and it lasted less than a year. But anyway, back to the story. His family were ranchers up in Washington, northern Washington, and they had a ranch. And I remember going to stay at the ranch, and they wake you up, God, in the middle of the night, and you got to go out, and you've loaded all this hay on this truck, and you got to drive the hay out to the pasture, and someone drives real slow, and someone's up on the top in the back kicking off the hay bales. And they got to be fed every day. Every day. I mean, you don't just get sick and not feed them. Some other farmer or rancher comes over and helps you. So this happens every day. Every day you drive out there, and every day you drive back, and you drive out there, you drive back, and you're driving along the same route, and pretty soon these grooves, these tracks get, entrenched in the dirt. Right, so pretty soon, after 20 years, you start up the truck and put on the gas, and the thing just goes. You don't even have to steer, right? It's right in the tracks. It's like at Disneyland, those tracks they teach you to drive. They don't have it anymore. That was back a long time ago. Sorry, I aged myself. But you get the point, right? You just turn it on. Well, that's kind of like life. We wake up in the morning, we turn on the key, we put the foot on the gas, and whoop, there we go, and it's the same route every time. And if you tried to change the route and turn hard, you would have a hard time getting out of that route. But if you drove every day and slowly turned the wheel just 1 degree every day, pretty soon you'd be heading in the other direction. And if you turned it every 1 degree every day, in 360 days, you would have turned yourself around completely. Right? So it's the small incremental changes done every day that are easier. And that's what this is trying to say. Let's change our life one day at a time. Success is found in your daily routine. Today, what can you do today? Just a little teeny 1 degree turn towards your goal. Okay? So think about it that way. It's much easier to digest. It's a nice way of saying, how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.